this is day 3 of using OTHERSIDE London CBD oil and flowers. I've kept my reduced medication as it is. Because we're on day 3 now, I'm expecting some withdrawal effects potentially from the reduced dose of sertraline. Usually this comes in the form of feels like electric shocks in my brain, my feet and my hands. And that happens either when I don't happen to have any, or indeed when I've taken half medication, if that's all I had. Because of COVID, it's been difficult to get medications on time. And in my apartment block, my medication has been stolen before. So obviously that's great. So I'm going about my day as I have been the last 2 days. 1 gram of this blueberry sherbet, which is delicious. Usually, I mean, I haven't had any CBD flowers that carry great flavour, especially one that stays true to what it says on the tin. Definitely blueberry flavour with a citrus hit at the end. And so I'll smoke 1 blunt of that, and then I'll have a couple of drops to keep me going through the day, so I can't smoke at work. As much as I like to, it smells like chronic to a lot of people, so that's unfortunate for them. And I am just carrying on my drops throughout the day. Generally, it seems to be 2 every 2 hours. Seems to work, but I'm also trying to keep my tolerance on a steady upturn. And I slept amazingly again last night. And rather than waking up in pain, either it's mild discomfort or it's not really there. And usually that would only happen when my muscles in bed, like when I'm staying warm from the bed warmth. And as my muscles get colder, that's when the pain would start. But that's not happening today. And all my pain has been very mild. I am very, very conscious of keeping any psychosomatic element away from this, but I feel great. I feel great. It's such like a pure sleep as well. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm accessing REM. I'm dreaming properly, and I wake up with I go to sleep with a genuine fatigue that can only be described as something that's it's just the melatonin, just the floodgates open from about 8-9 p.m. as it should, and asleep by 9 and up by 5. I did go to the gym yesterday since the end of lockdown. So that probably had something to do with it, but otherwise I'm hoping this trend continues and I could say goodbye to these pills. So day 3, 1 gram of the blueberry sherbet and 2 of my pills, and I'll keep you updated. So beautifully cured. It's just fine white soft ash, as you'd hope. Really delicious blue fruit. Obviously there's a chlorophyllc kind of twang to the back, but as you might expect, and usually having to compensate with just cannabis, on top of my meds already giving me hydration problems, super cotton mouth throughout the day, and really, really dry eyes. All the flavour, all the pro benefits. and none of that. It's great. It's been around 45 minutes now since I started smoking the flowers, and by now, usually my lumbar, which is, for full disclosure, the prolapse disc that I have is the L51, and usually it'd be creaking, it would be give me some complaints, or I'd have to change my posture a few times. I've been sitting on my sofa. I haven't had to do any of that. And it's only because of me suddenly realising I wasn't in pain that drew my attention to it. I'll be going to the gym in about an hour, and well, hopefully all goes well. What a Saturday. I don't think I'm going to smoke any of the flowers today. I'm conscious of keeping my tolerance down. The sherbet, the blueberry sherbet is 18%, and so that's why I started with that one, as it's the lowest CBD content. But smoking in the mornings, and especially for a workout, it's become like a morning ritual. It sets me up for the day amazingly. But as I'm off this weekend, I'm going to take a tolerance break. I'm going to keep with the drops, but in terms of just smoking, I'll leave that for Monday. And again, I didn't make a video going to sleep last night because I was just out. But again, another day of no pain. Honestly, it's twisting my melon. I know it's meant to work, but I just didn't think it would be this effective. It's crazy. The only worry is securing a supply. But for now, it's now Sunday morning. So almost the first week completely over for CBD. Crazy. Talking to my girlfriend last night, she can't even believe how little pain I'm in. As well as me. And in the week I'll start back with the flowers, just the drops today. Beautiful, natural, deep sleep last night, despite the heat, which is too much. And today I'll take the drops at the 2-hour intervals as usual. I should say that I'll probably list what I've been eating as well, because I think that's such a major part of it. So yeah, this is Sunday, and everything's just going really well. The biscotti's got that sweetness to it, a little bit of spice, I guess kind of malty. I guess you can kind of taste that. Not as sweet as the sherbet, blueberry sherbet, as I suppose you'd expect, but it's a real it's kind of warm spice on the end. Really nice. Of course, pure white ash. Well, can't see it in this light because my flat doesn't favour the good light, but yeah, warmer, spicier, sort of light brown sugar rather than muscovado. Really nice. Going to work now, and no back pain, no sciatic pain, nothing. It's kind of it's just like a dull ache or something that used to hurt, but yeah, no limp. Yeah, it was easy getting out of bed today. I could just like bend over and pick up things without sounding like I'd been shot. So, silver linings. Okay, end of day 8. It's like 1,000,000 degrees tonight. It's only like 9 o'clock, but I am drowsy. I don't think that's necessarily the effect of CBD or anything. It's just the heat. But notable pain today. Just down my right leg, where I usually get the limp and the sciatic pain, but that's because I did quite a lot of writing, sort of stayed sitting down yesterday for quite a while, and then standing up all day today at work. So, but otherwise, mood has been great. So, see if Tuesday gets any better. Another great night's sleep, despite the heat. That's mainly because I had my fan absolutely centered at my body during the night. But mild ache this morning, which is to be expected if I went to bed with some pain last night. And overall, more mobility when I wake up anyway. I used to get up and dodder over to the bathroom, or I was just out of bed. That was just difficult. And also turning over in the middle of the night. I have to, like a fucking steak, I have to, every 2 minutes, it feels like, just turn back over so that my spine and lumbar can sort of click the other way. And none of that's happening. So this is day 9, Tuesday. Going to smoke my biscotti and go to the gym. So about 3 in the afternoon now. It's just peak conditions in here. Just excellent. At least there's one fan going. I am getting recurring pain now in my leg, sort of maybe twice as painful as yesterday. Still doing 2 CBD drops every hour. 2 drops every 2 hours. I had the blunt this morning, but I think it's time to up the dose, maybe. So I'm going to go 3 drops because I'm only mindful of not putting up my tolerance too much too fast. It's going to render everything expensive and useless, ultimately. So, yeah, I might have to start and end the day with a blunt, so see how that goes. I'm already halfway through the drops bottle, so I'm going to re-up. So on Wednesday, and the extra drops seem to have helped my leg. I don't feel any sciatic pain. I did have a twinge in the night, but that was just turning over. That's probably the most pain I felt, and that was probably, that's like a 2 out of the 10. And 9 days in, I do feel different, though I think I'm going to have to start upping the dose, as I was saying yesterday. So, other than that, just having this delicious biscotti treat, my coffee this morning as always. And, what a way to set up your day. Mood heightens, everything's just fine. And it's definitely not in a I'm high, I don't care way. It's just an improvement in mood. The flavour of the biscotti is lovely. It's that sort of malty spiciness that just really does pair with a lovely instant this time, unfortunately. But, it's the Azure stuff, so, keep some class. I'm going to go to the gym and go to work. So, how it goes. So, apart from taking or reducing my painkillers, I've also been reducing sertraline, which is mental health medication. Now, usually it's a wide-ranging drug, but this is particularly for like
anxiety, depression, all the textbook bad stuff. But apart from the brain zaps and stuff that I've talked about, also like how I deal with things and how when things become stressful, what I do. That people have noticed that I'm happier per se, but also they're not that when they're expecting me to like flip out or go mad about something, I don't. And I'm quite curious to see how this will go, because I had my work appraisal today, and for the 6th year in a row, they're just, I don't know, taking the piss. And that's because they were friends. Well, I feel like I was duped into a friendship, which was just ultimately a business, and I don't know, it's difficult when you're having trouble to work anyway. It'll be interesting to see how sleeping on it does. Usually that helps a lot, but underlying kind of, I guess, anger at it, I don't know. I'm expecting it to be there usually, but hopefully not. And I think that's an important aspect to explore with this, because things like that, mental health issues, to I think a large degree, are such insidious things. So this is something else that I'm really not putting all my eggs in one basket, but man, it would be sweet if it would help this. Once again, oh fucking hell, oh Blair Witch. Anyway, once again, I forgot. I was falling asleep, and so effective is this CBD that I just started falling asleep and forgot to log for the night. So clearly it's working for my sleep, but in terms of mental health stuff, we'll see how that pans out tomorrow. Not that I feel particularly bad, but it'll be interesting to see how I cope with the stress, I guess. My job fucking sucks. But anyway, see you tomorrow. So Thursday, again, slept really well. And went to bed kind of not my happiest, just because of work related stuff. And I overall, despite not feeling rainbows about everything, I don't feel anxious, and I don't feel a sense of dread that otherwise I would be feeling. I know I've concentrated a lot on the physical pains of this, and for the back, which I've just had a bit of a sneezing fit, and I didn't feel like I slipped my disc again. So that's also another positive. But I know I've been talking about the brain shocks and brain, feet and hand shocks when I'm reducing the sertraline. That is just a given now. There's just, the pains aren't there. But how it helps me and makes me process emotional stresses, whatever, I'm still withholding judgment, and quite riskily, a part of me is not. I'm so stupid. I wish I was having a PTSD relapse, because I'd be really interested to see what the full potential is of this of the CBD. But obviously, I'm glad that's not happening. Really. So yeah, I'll keep tabs on it. Another great night's sleep, and didn't wake up in any kind of anxious mood at all, or miserable. Straight out of bed relatively early, 5:30ish. And so far, the troubles that I've had with my work, I'm not reacting in the way I'd usually react. Really angry, genuine kind of rage that's just all consuming. And whilst I'm relatively moribund about the job, you know, I, I'm trying to, I'm being edged out of my job that I've been faithfully in for 6 years, and they've used me this entire time. And usually I'd be devoting this time to just absolutely hating on them, but actually, and what I can only attribute to the CBD is it's just allowed me to curb that and just not care so much in a way that's detrimental to me. So back pain's getting better, the head pain's getting better, so really amazing. Yeah, anyways, just stopped by on my lunch break to smoke more. I've just realised I'm just down to the pistachio, and I've been trying to leave it, 5 days for the work days, because that's a lovely way to start your day. But so usually I save the flowers to smoke before I go to work, and cause I got 14 grams, but 5 of 2 and 4 of 1. Onto the pistachio now, which I think is a 4-day supply. Yesterday, very stressful. Still taking the drops as normal, but instead of 1 gram of flowers, it was 2. Pistachio really nice. Still not as necessarily as distinct as the others, but definitely a chlorophyll, sweet, nutty kind of flavour. But on the drops today, my back is hurting due to strenuous coital activity. So I say strenuous. It's a Crosby bear. So I had to lie on the Shakti mat. I helped a little bit, but despite the ache, my mobility is still way better than what it would have been. So CBD still doing its job. This is Saturday morning. Apologies for no entry last night. Otherwise, off to a good Saturday. Just about to have my second bacon sandwich, so nice. So it's Sunday. Obviously just had the blunt of pistachio. I am unusually 6 drops down. I'd usually be either 2 or 4 come this time, be taking more at lunch. Unfortunately, I feel like a bit more anxious than usual because of my work situation. I've just seen all the Instagram stories of them out at raves with people I know that have tested positive for COVID. And I'm being expected to go back to work because the law says if the employer has made it, as safe as possible, then I can be dismissed if I disagree. And they all took a COVID test, which is innately flawed, and they are not going to take 2 weeks off when they get back, mostly because they're subcontractors. So caught between a rock and a hard place. I only have 2 members of my family left. I'd rather not lose my dad, who is shielding currently. So CBD going above and beyond once again. Usually I'd flip out by now, but I haven't really. That's made me quite upset though. But more wistful than raging. So that's Sunday, and I'll make another entry later. Yeah, it's been a very mental 24 hours. I've now had to self-isolate due to possible COVID risk at where I work. So turning a curse into a blessing. It gives me a chance to do a bit more writing, but because the accumulative stress and anxieties, which is a large
a large part of why I take sertraline. I hate videos where it's just people fucking swallowing their own spit. It's gross and annoying. Sorry. Yesterday I came as close as I think I would have come to a panic attack, and it didn't happen. And I only say that because I got incredibly upset, irrationally upset, but not angry. And I didn't react in the same way. Like, I wasn't hyperventilating. There wasn't, sweating and all that kind of thing. I did have some mild neuroshocks yesterday. Very mild. Felt a bit dizzy. But that was the first day of me being on 50 mil of the sertraline. Still taking 1 gabapentin. My back has hurt a little bit, and I fear that I'm getting a tolerance, which might not be financially viable. But also I was trying to do a little bit of writing. So it seems any time if I'm sitting down for sort of any longer, like an hour or two at a time, there will be some semblance of pain anyway. But today will be a big writing day. I'm off work apparently for the next 2 days. I don't know if he meant 2 weeks. So I'll be able to keep better tabs on it. But up until this point, I've just been doing as normal, blunt in the morning of 1 gram, and then 2 drops every 2 hours. Usually with food. So this is Tuesday, and on the 3rd week. But unfortunately, I won't be able to make the flowers last. I'm on my last gram today, because I had a bit of a mare over the weekend and needed a little bit more. So I'm looking maybe just investing in the high strength oils rather than the flowers, because as much as they're a pleasure and useful, I don't think maybe it would be financially viable. It's just so delicious, And if I could just mix that blueberry sherbet with the biscotti, it's just be lovely. But I'm looking at all the other ones OTHERSIDE have now, and they've got the 22% Havana, which I'm very, very keen on, just because it is stronger, and like I say, my tolerance is building. So, this is Wednesday, the 18th of August, and I'm currently doing all right, almost coming off my meds. So this is Wednesday, 19th of August. I'm out of flowers now, and I've got what remains of my bottle left. I woke up in the worst pain that I've had since taking this CBD, so either my tolerance really is growing, or it's because I haven't smoked a blunt this morning. So it's I can't deny just how incredibly effective CBD has been, and oh God, we just need to have it as a thing here. Sell the flowers, sell everything else. I'm fucking sick and tired of taking opiates. My body not working properly. Extreme fatigue. This morning I've recently started doing something that I haven't done in almost 10 years. Is waking up and dry retching. It could be a side effect of taking down the sertraline, in which case something I'm totally willing to do or go through. But I'm worried that this CBD, this idea, is just not going to be financially viable. It's £9 for my medications, and I know £9 of experimental meds or whatever, but that is potentially 10 times cheaper than the other medication.
So, a bit difficult. The urge to cultivate my own is definitely crossing my mind. And I'd almost be willing to get in trouble over it so I can go to court and bring light to the subject. How this isn't. Anyway, coming up to my 4th week, and the pain's back. Gonna double up the drops to compensate today. We'll see how that goes. Ow. This is Thursday, August 20th. I was in a bit of pain last night, despite the drops, and taken some more this morning. Woke up in slightly less pain, but still very much something there. So maybe I should up the strength of the oil, but I feel okay now. I've been sitting at my desk for, I don't know, 3 hours. I'm only my first dose of drops down. Take another in a moment. But otherwise, feeling much better mood-wise. There's no neuroshocks, nothing horrible like that. So overall, all right.